something people should consider because they think they're so smart. And that is when you're dealing with true science, empirical science, which is the only science that can verify something. Ultimately, it comes down to one final thing. I will ask you a question. What is the only way that you can verify something in science? There's only one way. In empirical science, the only science that verifies anything, there's only one way. Do you know what it is? Because if you don't know what it is, I'm going to tell you what it is. The only way to verify anything in real science is you must have a demonstration. Now, I guarantee you that there's going to be people out there that might say, no, that's not the case. But most people will agree that the only way to verify something is you must demonstrate it. So, until you have a demonstration of gas pressure without a container, you do not have science. Furthermore, I will give you an example of how you're being conned. You want me to give you an example of how you're being conned? Here it is. You say the word atmosphere. Atmo means air, and sphere, you know what a sphere is. So you say the word air sphere. You're literally saying air sphere. Can you show me a demonstration of an air sphere with water and air on it inside of a vacuum? Because if you cannot supply that demonstration, you don't have science. You don't have science. Let it sink in to your fucking thick fucking skull. One more time. In order to prove something in the empirical method, which is the only method for verification, you need a demonstration. Not pictures. Not people saying, oh, it's true. Not math. Math proves nothing. And until math is turned into a tangible, verifiable demonstration, it resides in the realm of a concept. Do you understand that? In other words, it's only real between your fucking ears. So, unless you can provide a demonstration of an air sphere with water and air holding to it inside a vacuum without a container, you need to take the biggest bowel movement you possibly can because you are full of shit.
One of them was called Thunderfoot. I'll explain it in dumbed down terms for you as QE has failed. Gas does not go down, go boom, boom like bouncy balls. It expands in all directions to fill the availability of volume. Not down, go boom, boom. Not single vector like with gravity. Gas doesn't do that, mate. Do you not get it? You don't watch gas fall to the ground and require sweeping up because it's gone down with vectors of gravity. You getting it? And you don't sweep gas up, mate. Mate, you don't have to sweep up gas. Expands in all directions to fill the...
Gases move freely and randomly at high speeds. Vectors are directions.
You can have processes that decrease the entropy of the system. It's completely natural.
Really? Like what? What's
about...
going to decrease the entropy of the atmosphere on the Earth?
No, you can very easily create a chemical reaction that has a negative change in
I'm not talking about a chemical
entropy.
reaction.
It's a physical process.
I'm not talking, we're talking about the atmosphere and it expanding into its available volume. We're not.
People need to listen to this because they're so fucking stupid. And their brains have been like severely fucked hard that they think that gas is a liquid. They literally think that. And they think that the gas is held down by gravity. And it's not, because gravity is not a force. But even if you were to give gravity what you want, it still wouldn't do what you want, you fucking morons. Gas moves freely and randomly in all directions. It does not have a downward vector exclusively, you fucking morons.
Talking about chemical reactions. There's no delta G here.
Well, thermodynamics doesn't just work in some parts of physical chemistry, and other parts it doesn't
I
work.
didn't say it did.
Just talking specifically about how gas would fill available volume, though, in this instance when detailing second law.
Well, it doesn't fill it uniformly.
What doesn't fill what? Be specific.
So, I'm not allowed to talk about gravity here, am I, sir?
What's
Yeah,
gravity?
yeah, you are, but it's not going to have any effect on entropy.
Listen to that very clearly. Even if you have gravity, it will not affect entropy. Do you understand that? If you have a vacuum beside a gas, the gas will fill the available space. Like if your head was fucking empty because you had no fucking brains, and it was a vacuum, the air would go into your fucking ears. You fucking morons.
Well, it has to,
Let's say, hold on a second. So we know that gases move freely and randomly at high speeds. Do you understand that?
Yes, I am aware.
Okay. So it has all conceivable vectors, correct?
What do you mean by all conceivable vectors?
When it moves freely and randomly in all directions, vectors at high speeds, you just said that that's true.
Yes.
So, gravity, let's just allow it just for a moment. Gravity has a single vector towards the center of mass of the Earth. Do you see the contradiction?
No. Where's the contradiction?
Okay, I'm going to give it to you. All vectors, all conceivable vectors. Can something have all conceivable vectors and then only have one vector at the same time?
Okay.
He's trying to get it to the thick skull, through the thick fucking skulls you have. If gravity has a downward vector exclusively, and gas moves freely and randomly in all vectors, you can't have it both ways. Are you fucking seriously that fucking stupid? Are you fucking that stupid? It moves freely and randomly in all directions. And in order for pressure, not gradient pressure, but pressure in the first place, prior to gradient pressure, you must have pressure first. So your gradient pressure is inconsequential, you fucking morons. Just listen to the rest of this, because these are facts that you can't argue with. No matter how much you squirm and twist, the fucking barb is going in you, you filthy fucking worm.
First of all, when you say it has all conceivable vectors, I'm assuming you mean velocities.
Gases move
gravity,
freely and randomly at high speeds. Vectors are directions.
Yes, I know the vector. Gravity, when we talk about it in mechanics, it's a force vector. Whereas velocity, what you call vectors, you're talking about velocity.
I'm talking about velocity, sir. I'm talking about vectors.
Velocity is a vector, by the way. Do you mean force vectors?
What?
Velocity.
Velocity is not a vector. A vector is a direction. Velocity is not a direction. These are educated so-called people that are supporting your globetard beliefs, and we're shattering it. You don't have to like it.
Direction. Okay. How many directions does gravity have?
Well, gravity is a force vector. It has a magnitude and a direction, one direction.
What's the direction? Towards what?
Towards the center of the mass.
Okay.
This being
gases have, okay, fair enough. I'm going to say it again. Gases have all conceivable vectors.
They have one force vector on them towards the center of the Earth.
No, they don't. No, they don't. You just said that they have all conceivable vectors. You agreed with me. Listen, this is a simple contradiction. Yeah, you're going to talk through me. No, not a problem. See, you can't have a thing, and it's not a thing anyway, gases with only one vector and then all conceivable vectors at the same time. It violates the law of non-contradiction. Thanks.
No, they have all the velocities, but they have one force vector.
You think they have an exclusively downward vector? Oh, no worries. See, I've dealt with people who think the same as you. One of them was called Thunderfoot. I'll explain it in dumbed down terms for you as QE has failed. Gas does not go down, go boom, boom like bouncy balls. It expands in all directions to fill the availability of volume. Not down, go boom, boom. Not single vector like with gravity. Gas doesn't do that, mate. Do you not get it? You don't watch gas fall to the ground and require sweeping up because it's gone down with vectors.
This is why this is one of the most important things to understand. Okay, is you cannot have gas pressure without a container. You cannot demonstrate gas pressure without a container. Likewise, you cannot demonstrate a vacuum without a container. Both things require a container. Gas pressure requires a container. A vacuum requires a container. You cannot have gas pressure beside a vacuum without a container. If you believe this, you are beyond severely retarded. Beyond severely. Like, you may as well just go fucking check yourself into a fucking retard home and live there. And shit your fucking diapers like a fucking retard.
So gravity, you're getting it? And you don't sweep gas up, mate. Mate, you don't have to sweep up gas. Do you understand?
Yes, I do understand what you're attempting.
Right, so not go down, go boom, boom with gravity then. You get it? All vectors, not go down, go boom, boom with your gravity vector. Get it?
Well,
not needing sweeping up because of gravity, pulling it down. Not one vector, all vectors. How many bloody times?
Okay, thank you. But why then would a jar full of gas weigh more than an empty vacuum?
So you understand that gravity isn't affecting gas? Do you understand that? Not downward go boom boom like bouncy balls, not doing that. Do you concede before you ask us yet another question, given that we've answered your question and now you're talking through me? We've answered your question. Now we need you, the guy asking and having been answered kindly and politely for quite a prolonged period, to understand and appreciate and therefore concede that your gas go down, go boom, boom like bouncy balls with gravity isn't how gas behaves. You understand that gravity is not applicable when dealing with gas expanding in all directions. You understand this, yes?
I can see your point.
So you understand, not see my point, you understand that gas does not go down, go boom, boom with gravity. You understand that? I've dumbed it down for you. Well, gas isn't behaving like balls that need sweeping up when you pour them out. That's not what gas does. Hello? So that is not how gas behaves. Not a point I'm making, a fact of life. Now I need you to understand, because it's becoming ever more apparent that you seem stupid. Just need you to say, yeah, I understand gas doesn't need sweeping up. It's not applying a downward vector that I asserted. I'm wrong. That's what I need you to say, because you're wrong. It's not going down, go boom, boom with gravity, like bouncy balls.
Gas isn't bouncy balls.
No, it expands in all directions, all vectors. Not go down, go boom, boom with gravity then. You understand it's not going down with gravity. Gas, that is.
Not go down, go boom, boom.
Yeah, not gravity. How many times? So you understand that gravity is not in any way, shape or form affecting the entropy of gas, which does not have a downward vector. Do you understand?
May I give you some shape?
No, you can answer me. Do you understand that that's not how gas behaves, as you have asked and asserted that that is how it behaves with a downward vector? It doesn't. I need you to actually acknowledge that.
Well, I'm trying to acknowledge it.
Start with the word yes.
No.
Oh, so you're not trying to acknowledge that gas doesn't go down, go boom, boom with a single vector of gravity? You're not going to concede this?
I'm trying to make something called a counter-argument.
It's not a counter-argument. This isn't agree-disagree.
This is a very important point. There is no counter-argument for this. Do you understand this? Do you understand what is going on? You can't counter-argue something that is a natural fucking law. Gas will fill the available space. Gas moves freely and randomly in all directions. It is in direct conflict of a belief that the gas would stay on an open system, on a ball, no less, just sitting there. You need to go to your mirror, look into your face, in your eyes, and ask yourself, do you believe that gas does that? And if you do, you are literally staring in the eyes of a retard.
You think you have to sweep up gas? Are you moronic?
No.
This isn't agree-disagree, moron. Gas doesn't need sweeping up because it's got a downward vector. Either you are stupid or you think there's a counter-argument required to this assertion that gas needs sweeping up with a downward vector of gravity. It doesn't. It's a fact of life. Are you moronic? This is a fact of life, not agree-disagree. Give me a counter-argument. You're never going to argue successfully that we need to sweep up gas because it's got a downward vector. It doesn't.
I'm not trying to.
So just concede that point then. Yes. So just say yes.
Yes, it does.
So not gravity.
Thank you.
So not gravity.
No. May I now continue?
No, I will now gloat to all the fundies on your side of this globe believing nonsense that do think gravity's holding gas go down, go boom, boom with a single vector, as conceded by this guy. No, gravity not a force holding gas here in violation of natural law, stopping it going into outer space. That's not what's happening, right, mate?
It does not need sweeping up, that's correct.
Right, so fundies on the globe side, man who believes in globe concedes gas not going down, go boom boom, entropy definitely not affected by this not actual force. Hello? A concession. Maybe you should have his job, because he's conceded that gravity's not affecting entropy.
Okay.
What the freak up there?
Why are you talking through me, Fundy? Why is this turned into me pointing out that your concession might leave you, by past experience, not scaremongering facts? This might leave your own side attacking your career. How does that make you feel?
I'm fine. His friends, can you...
No, you can answer me. You're fine that people on your own side, given that you've conceded gas does not go down, go boom, boom like bouncy balls in a fish tank. It's not affected by a single gravity vector of down. You have conceded that, which means that you are now open to your job being attacked, and you're fine with that.
May I tell you what I conceded?
Go down, go boom, boom, need sweeping up with a single vector of gravity. You said yes, after I point out how moronic it is to assert a counter-argument to such a claim that gravity is affecting entropy. It isn't. That's what you conceded. Now, if you want to worm your way out of that because you might have your job attacked by your own bloody side, then fine. Maybe weasel your way out of it.